Hey there, and welcome back to Daily Challenges, an educational monster train series where we try to push score on the daily leaderboards. This challenge doesn't look terribly difficult, in the sense that I don't think winning is going to be the part of it. Let's review what we have. First off, we're starting with Windleton, so fair enough. And then we have Plink. Okay, sure. Nothing fantastic here, but it's not bad either. There's also no immediate line that stands out to me as being particularly fast, outside of, obvious infinites, right? If we see something like First Hell Pact, we're going to snap click it. Just because that plus, Awoken's Rail Spike with a remove consume duped a couple times, you could infinite off that and win. That's one way. But there's not a lot otherwise. We're going to be looking for pretty much anything that speeds us up. I have a feeling that the main challenge of this run is not going to be, like I said, winning or even winning at like a normal clip, right? We're going to easily clear things in Relentless. The challenge is going to be, how do I kill things before Relentless? We'll have to see what's shown, right? I can't really envision exactly from this clan combo what that might be. We've got scores that suggest pretty fast runs. They're decently. The three that really stand out to me here are the 80, the 79, and the 77k scores. These people figured something out that's faster than everyone else. Some of it might be difficult because we might not see the pieces they saw, or some of it might just be you have to identify it, but we'll figure it out. The rest of these 70s are pretty much, this is maximum shards, maybe a couple turn relentless here or there, like a 3 turn or something. That's basically what you're looking at with a 73. So I don't think these are going to really stand out. If we end up in this pack, that's fine, right? I'll be okay with a top 10 score. It's always kind of my goal is to hit top 10. I'm never like genuinely focusing on the number one, though obviously I'm trying to come up with the best solution. But yeah, the modifiers, I haven't even talked about them yet, but they're very low impact. You've got Mansion, so okay, big floors, great. We've got Shields Up, so enemy units enter with damage shield. It's not great, but also, if I have Strangler, as long as I'm fast enough, this doesn't matter. And then we also have Wand of Cure Light Wounds, which benefits us as the player more than the enemies. Enemies healing 5, it's a little bit of an annoyance, but it's not a big threat, usually. It's unlikely we're going to be so straddled for damage that we're getting inched out by Wand of Cure Light Wounds here. So we'll have to see, but yeah, basically that's it. That's all I've got for you. So our previous run was pretty good. We had a number 3 placement, fantastic. It's basically where I want to be. In general, I'm always shooting for the number 1, and I can typically figure out where I've lost score along the way, looking back at hindsight. But in the case of getting like a number 3 score, that's great. I feel good about that. That's pretty much means I feel that I'm where I need to be in terms of performance on a daily, right? My number 1 goal is to reach front page. That's basically it. That's where I want to end up. So in that previous run, we had a double multi-strike Awoken Hollow infused in a Shattered Shell run, which is a bit interesting. We had a very useless Glutton and a multi-strike Large Stone Alloyed Construct that was self-infused. Very strange, but we had him up top just kind of cleaning up, and then we were using our Shattered Shell to survive the lower floors and get the faster kills. So kind of an interesting combo. It's a sort of interaction I don't use often in Covenant 25, having two fully separate lines like that, where you've got the Shattered Shell doing its thing down below, but then you have an Alloy Construct doing its thing above. At Covenant 25, you're strongly encouraged to pick one. Now, either might win, right? You might have the pieces to make the Alloy Construct work, or you might have just full-on reliance on the Shattered Shell, but you're very rarely ever going to take both of them. At least not to the end game. You might rely on that through mid-game or something, depending on how weak your run is or how high shards you're going, but you're almost never going in that way into Divinity. It's just weird. This is something that I find is encouraged a lot more often in the dailies. Because they're Covenant 1, you have so few cards that get added, you get so little trash that it's easy to reach parity, is the way I describe it. But essentially what that means is that it's easy to get to the point where you're redrawing your deck very fast basically. So that's a challenge at Covenant 25. You're always suffering against that. You're like, wow, I have to remove so much stuff, but I have to also draft to win. So you have to take cards, but you can't remove enough. So you're looking at maybe like a 2-3 turn redraw at best on Covenant 25. Whereas you're not constrained in that way at Covenant 1. And that's what dailies are at. So that's a big change in both mentality and capability. Like what is even within the realm of the reasonable. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, all good. Maybe that was an interesting tirade. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's play this. As always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's see what business we get up to today. Let's see what we can pull off. Yeah. Alright, hope you're all doing well today. I'm doing pretty okay, honestly. It's a bright and early, woof, is it Saturday morning for me? It sure is. It's pretty early for me too. I woke up at, was it 7 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock for me now, but like AM Eastern time. You all know my time zone, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I've been awake for a while for no real reason other than that sometimes I just sleep fewer hours, and that's okay. But I'm doing all right, so that's what matters to me. Hopefully you're all having a good one. Hope you're going to do the daily with me at some point. Hopefully you enjoy it. Maybe you'll figure out the elite tech here to make it work. But yeah. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Look how small the deck is. You're missing, what, 6 cards compared to a normal Covenant 25 run of Monster Train. No deadweights. You're missing 2 Planks and 2 Root Seeds. Crazy. Anyway, let's get in on this. As before, we are Exile Awoken, Exile Umbra. We're facing Pushback Talos, Spell Shield Fell, Chased Seraph. We have Stings, Making of Immortals, and Preserved Thorns. These are going to be good weapons for getting us through these runs fast, so that's cool. Making of Immortals, good scaling for Relentless. Oh, fan, yeah, pretty much. If I see Strangler, this will be smooth sailing, I think. You know all the modifiers we have. Alright. Temples today. We're planning on taking basically every Pact Shard the game allows us to take. Now, there's going to be a few that we might miss because dupes lock up some of those shards as well. But we may not want every dupe, or we may need something else, in my opinion. So you'll never know. You'll be a little bit of a diversity in terms of like 30 or so Pact Shards, but we'll take everything else. Temples are on 3, 4... 6, 7, 8, 5 temples. 5 temples is actually a challenge because we're not going to have a lot of units, right? I'm going to in order to get those Pact Shards, I have to draft 4 units in order to have enough stuff to infuse everything. That's actually more than that, right? I need 6 units. You need 10 units in total for 5 infusions. Wild. That's a lot of drafts that I normally wouldn't take just to get score. But I'll keep my eyes open for it. Now, as far as other stuff, removal dupe magic side on 8 is nice. That's a very strong finisher. We have steel and trinket shops on 7. Steel shop has the money. Trinket shop has vortex and a cave, but it's going to be hard to afford stuff. We'll see. We'll see. And then another removal dupe with horde on 6. That's good. Competes with a magic shop. No steel on 6. No magic on 7. Magic and steel on 5. In this case, the magic shop is stronger. We also have Windleton, which benefits from magic shops a lot. So there's that. Steel shop has a cave. Sure, why not? Hellvent Awoken banner on 4 competes with... Wow, no shops on 4 at all. That's crazy. It means we get a double both. Yeah, we do. Crazy. Yeah, no shops on 4. So we get Hellvent Awoken banner competing with Horde Vortex, which is kind of interesting. Then you get double steals, double magics. Let's see, Magic Shop on 2 has an Awoken banner, Magic Shop on 3 has an Umbra banner, Steel Shop on 2 has the Umbra banner, Steel Shop on 3 has Health. Sure, okay, fair enough. Awoken banners are marginally better, but Windleton plays nicely with something that can tank for him, so we'll see. But yeah, the Horde today, Thorn Fruit. You know, Guild Marker might be stronger overall, but I tell you what, this is interesting. Thornfruit is a good power play, but the downside is it makes some of the infinites very difficult because it adds trash to your deck. How do we feel about that? This is a really interesting choice, because if we don't see the options for the infinites, then Thorn Fruit is objectively correct here, right? It gives us a lot of tools to speed ourselves up through the run. It's faster, and it'll allow us to play bottom floor more confidently in a lot of combats. But if we see stuff for like an Awoken's Rail Spike Infinite, it will be a downside. Interesting. I don't know. That's a tough call, actually. Right out of the gate with a difficult one. I think I'm going to go with Thorn Fruit for a few reasons. One, it'll help a bit with the Shields Up modifier. And two, if we end up on Thorn Lord, I think it will help a lot too. I'm going to take this, because you might not see Strangler here. There's a lot of thoughts that I have. Take the money, of course. We do see Strangler. I will grab it. Okay. Huh. We're going to try to play bottom floor. Mark of Invasion. The trial is always worth it, even if I take damage here. And I should have tools to get through this, right? Haha, right. It's crazy. Plink. Sting, sting. Playing top floor is... Huh. It is 50% score to take the trial. It is 30% score to play bottom floor. It's 2% per health lost to take damage. This guy represents 3, 1, so 4 damage to me right now. I could save him, right? I could do Train Steward, Rubble Morsel, Root Seeds on the Morsel, and I can get him. We're going to try that. Alright? We're going to try this. We get the heals from Cure Light Wounds, which is interesting. Sting up top. Plink. Plink. Hey man, that is a big benefit here. We do miss the Collector, unfortunately, but he pings one. I could just play the Root Seeds here and get one kill. Yeah. And then it's hit. I take a little bit of damage. If I put damage on the Rubble Morsel, it pops this Clergyman's shield, and we only take the 1 damage, which is maybe good. It's a lot of investment here, right? I mean, we take 1 damage. Now, at this point, our goal is to go fast, right? Now we're going fast. I want to kill this floor, so we're going to play the Making of a Morsel out. Very good. I will Plink, actually, for the... Yeah, okay, Lifesteal is your friend. Okay. Those are good swings, and I think this is enough to win. Yeah, great. Whew, okay. A little dicey, but not too bad. Oh, nice. We actually avoid a lot of damage. So we take 1 damage. Is there any way I could have done that better? I don't think so. I put a lot of investment into upstairs, so I'm going to accept that. That's 1 damage taken, but we get the trial and we get bottom floor. That's pretty efficient on score. Razor Sharp Edge is good. Wildwood Sap is probably fine. I'm going to take the stat booster here. Mind Collapse, Prismal Dust. I like Mind Collapse. I can put a 10 in piercing on this and it becomes a very good tool against these damage shield guys. I'm going to go to the magic shop here, I think. -1s, I think, are very strong. And then I'd like an Awoken banner here. I don't know about this Umbra banner. It's interesting because, I mean, they could just show us, like, Shadow Siege, and then it becomes an Ember challenge, because we have the space for him, but there's nothing that inclines me to go left on this one at all, right? I don't really want an Umbra banner. I mean, it's actually not bad, right? We have the space. You could put a Crucible Collector or Warden in front and feed it morsels, and it face tanks very reliably. I'm actually going to go left. An Umbra banner could be good on this situation because of Windleton. Damage shield 3, sure. Yeah, Crucible Collector is actually a fantastic pickup here, I think. Cool. And we'll do that. I'm going to give him a damage shield 3 just so that it's chilling. I'll re-roll because... Okay, sure. Damage shield 3 again. It's pretty good. Honestly, it's a great lineup, I think. Take the money, of course. We'll move on. I want to go to the Magic Shop next. This is, I think, enough to win. Unit draft, sure. Right? We should have the ability here, because of this, to drop Warden or Collector and then actually have the space we need for everything, right? We can actually generate lifesteal, which is pretty cool. We just sting things to oblivion here, and that's pretty neat. The enemies can't leave because of everything else. So that's good. Single Plink middle gets the Collector. Fantastic. And we get a morsel here. Great. I'm going to take Razor Sharp down, and I am going to play the Making of a Morsel because lifesteal is valuable here. Enemies can't leave is one of the nice things about this. So, I am going to play the Train Steward because there's no reason not to. And then we save that lifesteal, and we should be good here, right? Yeah, we're fine. It's gonna be, it's kind of safe, right? There's not a lot of risk to this, but yeah. Alright, fair enough. Guy never walks. The Collector with space plus Windleton is a very secure line. So now we're just looking at getting fast, right? We need to be fast. So I have enough morsel generation. I can remove trash, but I need to keep the Train Stewards for infusions. Steel Enhancer. It's not bad. Just for health to offset the Razor Sharp, I suppose. But at the same time, it's not particularly good either. I'm going to skip it. Damage Shield, Antumbra Assault, Space Prism. I don't really... I mean, I take the Prismal Dust here, I think. It's fine, right? It goes away, sure. Steelsinger is an interesting infusion. I don't think it's particularly good. I think if we're going to take anything, it's just Crucible Warden infusion. Sure, more damage shield basically just means he doesn't die on turn 1. We'll go left. I want Magic Shop upgrades here. I'll look at the Umbra banner. Yeah, honestly though, lifesteal is the more efficient play. I'm going to take that. Remember, I do need to do a lot of infusions here, so we're going to go Collector into Collector. The damage shield 6 is really just to keep him from dying, right? That's it. So the rest of this is I need the floor not to pass away. Spell Chain, I'm going to put this into the Razor Sharp for sure. Intrinsic. Not really sure where to put that yet. I don't have to make up my mind. I'm going to toss a... No double stack here. -1s are your friend. One of these goes into a Razor Sharp for sure. +10. Not useful. Double stack, not useful. Reroll. 20 consume on the Plink is a good use of this. -1 can go into a Root Seeds. Permafrost. Don't need this, I don't think. And I think we kind of hang out. Oh, nice. Don't take Petrified Heart, that's bad. I'm going to take the Heartstone because that overstack helps a lot here. And sure, I think that's fair. We need to take everything, so I need to take this Intrinsic on something. I'm going to put it on Preserved Thorns, I guess. It's fine because it speeds you up a lot. We're looking for, what? Thornlord would be a good pivot here for Strangler. We're just going to chill on our money. I don't feel like there's no risk of losing here, right? At least in my opinion. So, that's true. Yeah, I don't really feel any risk on this one. I'm going to hit the plink downstairs. It does, because it should hurt something. We actually don't do enough damage to kill that guy in the back. We're going to get pushed back around a bit, which is something of a concern. Lifesteal is your friend. Buff here, it's good. I'll sting something just to make some progress. I'm going to plink the boss, I think. Well, I'm going to play the Making of a Morsel, actually, and then we'll put the Warden out, I think, which takes a hit, but he gets healed, which is fine. She'll come downstairs. This is where she starts punching things around in kind of an obnoxious way, but I'm not terribly worried about it. We'll take the Razor Sharp 1, Razor Sharp 2... Root seeds, draw faster. She moves things around in kind of an annoying way. It's unclear if she's going to make it back to this floor. I think I should just sting her a whole bunch here. And then I'm going to take some miners here. I think these help. And I'm going to pop... I don't think this damage shield does anything for me, so I'm going to pop the guy in the back on this one. Alright, that should be fine. Yeah, she doesn't come here. That's a bit of a bummer, for sure. Keep stinging it out. I'm going to work on our backline friend here. We'll do Big Plink. It's actually very good, right? That's actually nice. I can save a little bit of health. I will. And I think I can face tank here, and that's good. Great, in fact. We have what, like a random demon fiend here, essentially. This should be, yeah, I was going to say, this should be enough to win this combat on bottom. It's not glamorous, is the thing. It's just not. So, yeah. Fair enough, I suppose, right? We get the bottom floor. I don't think we had the tools to get an earlier kill here. So, we just did not. Furnace Tap is very tempting if you can just make everything in this deck free. I think we do take this. Although, Shard Channeler is funny because I do need units in order to actually achieve maximum infusions here. But I think Furnace Tap represents too much value to skip. We'll take that. Take another random unit for an infusion. It really doesn't... I don't care about this otherwise. Sure, right? I can just take something at random here, I think. Okay, sure, I'll take another collector. This seems bad, but at the same time, I think there's a good reason for it, and that reason is simply that I need units to get Pact Shards. Space, unnecessary, otherwise it normally would be. Ember is fine. Ember might help now, but it will not help later. Let's take card draw. I think we're strong enough we can greed here. Removals are okay. The Horde could be nice. I don't need the Awoken banner. Money is, I guess, whatever. The dupe here is on what? The Razor Sharp Edge? If we hit Predator, that's pretty good. I think I am going to go for the dupe here. There's a good target, at least. There's no chance I take this Awoken banner. Yeah, let me look at my number of units, right? We've already gotten our 1 infusion, so 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 2 more units, technically, to hit maximum infusions. I don't want to ruin my draws, though, because this is actually going to start hurting more, right? My plan here is I'm going to do Warden into Collector here, so if I draw either one, it's okay. But you start adding things like, I don't know, Awoken Hollow, and you're like, alright, what am I doing on this run? We could take other non-banner units later. I don't want to make my run weaker. Give me... Alright, Predator Pivot. Sure, Predator Pivot is fine here. Yeah, fine. Sure. I like it. I'll take it. It gives me multi-strike later. It's good. Take everything here. Spell Chain on something. Unclear what I'm going to do that with. The Purge here is just a Plink. Fine. The Spell Chain is Furnace Tap. It's not great. It's going to be hard to get the Ember to play the Spell Chain copy out. I was kind of hoping for like maybe a double stack later. I think maybe the Spell Chain is better put into something like what? I don't know. None of these cards are good, right? I am going to do Warden into Collector here just to get the other Pact Shards from this. The dupe here, however, is Razor Sharp Edge. So that's going to be helpful in terms of damage scaling, because we didn't get Thorn Lord. This Spell Chain has to go somewhere. I'm actually thinking Mind Collapse, so I can put like a Tenon Piercing in this later if we see it. I think so. It's not Prismal Dust unless we hit first Hell Pact, and I don't want to lean into that assumption. That's too unclear. We'll take the Spell Chain on the Mind Collapse. We're taking everything here. Alright, we're moving on. I think we have the tools. Yeah, Heaven Seal is no risk here. We'll click it. We are quick, at least, so that's nice. Right? It's not too bad. It's a lot of spell shield. There's really no reason to incant on the floor. 10-10, it's fine. Sure. I Plink upstairs is nice. I'm going to play the other guy up here just so that we'll get that collector. I do need morsels, is sort of an immediate thing that's becoming obvious. But I also need to do a lot of damage here. So that is something that's coming up as well. Alright. I need, yeah, Making of a Morsels off floor for sure must be played here. This is just it must happen. I'm going to Plink because it gets rid of it, and also possibly, yeah, it pushes some numbers through. And then let's hold on to Prismal Dust for now. We're clearing the floor reasonably well, right? Reasonably well. I need to play the Making of a Morsel. Taking a lot of damage here, and that's acceptable. Let's play out a Train Steward, I guess, and chill. This damage shield is annoying, but fine. I could just slam the Furnace Tap here, which is reasonably powerful, and I'm going to do it. I think the other play is Making of a Morsel here, plus the Razor Sharp. I guess I will continue to Sting. This, I think, should win on Relentless pretty confidently. Yeah, easy, in fact. The damage shield is wild, right? Alright, we win. Great job. It's enough to push through that multi-strike, helping a ton here. Gnarled Root. I'm trying to imagine where the spikes come from, where I think this is useful, and I don't know, maybe we get into some Shard Channeler business? I couldn't tell you. I did already skip one of them. It's kind of an interesting idea. I guess I'll take it. I think the chance that this does something is high enough that it's worth more than 25 gold to me. Is it? You see me questioning myself. Is it actually? Where do I get spikes from? Am I ever drafting any of those cards? The only one that I might take is Shard Channeler here, right? I'm just going to skip this, I think. I might regret that. Edge Prior? Sure. You know what? Buddy, why not? I need units. Void Binding? Yeah, sure. Void Binding. Okay. I can see just zero cost going crazy here. We're going to go Magic side. I want things to be cheaper, and I would like to remove the bad Crucible Warden here. Yeah, that seems good. Health, whatever. Horde, doesn't matter. Oh, Pyrestone Housing? No, it's not going to be that. Forever Flame, not going to be that. Refracting Lens is not bad. It answers Penitent, maybe? Forever Flame is probably right, just so that it makes playing these units out easier in these upcoming combats. I'm going to take this. It's never Pyrestone Housing. We already have 3 upgrades, so I'll take the Forever Flame. That does help somewhat early. One of these removals is the bad Crucible Collector. Goodbye, buddy. Another one is... Can't remove Train Stewards yet. I think it is just... Plink. Yes, it is. Even though I realize 20 Consume exists, like, it's fine. -1. We need to make cards free. What if I go double stack on Void Binding? We have a lot of chances for a -2. I quite like that. We'll double stack this then, yeah. Although double stack Furnace Tap is really good. Get a multi-strike on that, huh? I think I am going to double stack the Furnace Tap, actually. That's even better. Double multi-strike, big fan. We want cards to be free. It is, like, making of a morsel is actually really important to our run here, so we're going to take that. Sting. I could consume a Sting. Sure, actually, this is fine with me. Reroll this. Remove Consume. Never generating enough Ember to make that work. I want the making of a morsel to be free. Plus 10s. No, I'm going to save that money. I think we hang out on this cash here, right? Next floor, I think this magic shop is more valuable than the removal dupe, but we don't want another razor sharp. Yeah, I think we are going magic shop next. Move on. We're not taking anything else here. This is going to be a difficult combat. I'm taking this trial, but this Crystal Cloak is going to be a problem. Stealth in general is going to be a problem. We're not swinging, right? We're just eating dirt. It's a difficult question. I do have enough things here. I think we can push through 1, 2, 3 in the front. How do we address... Hidden Assault is a toughie here. Interesting. If Void Binding were free, I think I might be a little more confident. But I was holding out for a -2, which might have been a mistake. I know we can win by playing top floor and slamming these guys out, and then quick we'll be able to hit them. Our goal would be to scale up to the point where we never spend the 6 damage shield on Crucible Collector, and then he face tanks the boss pretty confidently. I know we win top floor. Can we win lower floors, though? It's a lot of hits coming in, and I don't think we're going to guarantee enough stings. We're going to leak a lot of stuff. No, man, how do I want to... I could always try playing bottom floor and then seeing. Sure, you know, fine. We'll try. So the play here is Sting, Sting, Sting. I Razor Sharp the 2-coster to kill him. I Sting here. Razor Sharp. And then we face tank up front here. We'll have to deal with this thing on other floors is the problem, right? That's the real challenge. I thought there was supposed to be a guy that spawns in the middle on this one, huh? Strange. Anyway, I'm going to plink for money because I want this morsel. I'm going to sting middle here. We're going to sack some train stewards. Just play them out because they are free, and that's great. Oof, that's a lot of incoming damage, huh? I think the right play here is terrifyingly... I mean, we sting upstairs. That's an easy one. Kills that guy. Great job. We're going to sting bottom floor. That seems good, too. Okay. Now, I do think offensive Razor Sharp is one of the answers here. Now, the rest of this is pretty dicey. I don't really want... I could face tank here, but I think I want the making of a morsel down. I think that's true. We could have put him in front and then morseled on him. Actually, we can put the Void Binding on him anyway, but I don't think we want to. Our aim is do damage. Yes. I'll play the Train Steward out just to get him out of there. These don't do anything. No bonus damage right now. These guys on the back walk by me, which is a bit of a dicey situation. We're taking a lot of heat here. Phew. A lot of heat on this one. I think we need to kill one of the... We need to kill these guys mid-floor. Like, this is just a no questions asked sort of situation. Huh. Yeah, alright. Top floor looking bad, but maybe we can kill them thanks to stings. Bottom floor, he at least heals. I don't know how our situation is going to look for Relentless here. It looks, I'm going to be clear, pretty bad. Toss this Void Binding down. I actually think I need to do it. Everything that really matters is free. How do I feel about any of this? It's a good question. I think we're okay. I'm not going to play the Razor Sharps. Mathematically, I think if we can live the Relentless, this is the challenge. Yeah, I didn't think we would get it. Right? This is the big risk here. Okay, we at least push numbers, which is surprising, I suppose. Play another morsel out. Is that enough to get through? Man, it's close. I can pump one of these guys. Oh, is that because he's not life-stealing on him? Interesting. That's true. But we eat dirt upstairs anyway. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure. I don't think that we're ever going to get through this bottom floor angle. It was a bold play. We managed to do like 200 damage in one combo there, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, mid-floor might be more reliable. We'll try this. Alright? We'll try it. One of the cool things about this is now I can still freely sting down here and do okay, and that's fine. I can play a little more aggressively. And I think we can get away with just getting edge prior shot next turn. Seems okay. Our goal this way is essentially, how do we guarantee that we actually get the thing we want to get, right? He goes pop pop here, which is fine. I could actually plink him out. Interesting. I think I prefer getting the magma miner, or the morsel miner in, rather. So we'll do it this way instead. And then we plink out downstairs, which pops some damage shields. I'm okay with this, right? Now, I do have to address this top floor man somehow, so we'll sting, and we'll deal with that. We get double miners here, which is the real goal, I think, right? Now, I'm going to play a little more aggressively. We're going to Void Binding one of the miners here, because it tanks that one damage shield for me, which I quite like. We'll sack a Train Steward out. I'm drawing into a lot of stings. Let's actually spend a Mind Collapse popping one of these stings. I think that is going to be more valuable overall. Our goal is to preserve these damage shields to the best of our ability. It's going to be difficult, but I do think it is possible. It's a real bummer that this guy's in front, huh? Yeah. I'm going to work on the guy downstairs then. I'll take more damage on this turn. We do eat some of this. It's unfortunate. Top floor solves this problem, but it's fine. Guy takes a hit. I'm going to put that Void Binding in front here. We are going to Sting up top. I have to play one Mind Collapse here. Okay, play the other Miner. We buff. Now, if I pop for 3, the damage shield goes. Ugh. He walks on me? Really? I can't take this hit. This is something. This is 50% score loss for sure. Because he wasn't getting attacked. Alright, maybe it is a top floor play here. I know it wins. I was just trying to find ways of getting more score. I think it's possible we could have done this if I had made Void Binding 0 cost, because I think we could have gotten away with it. Let's go ahead and just sack Edge Prior on this particular instance. He's going to get in the way otherwise. Our plan here is now pretty simple, I think. Sting, Sting, Sting kills one guy. We'll pop the other guy. We Sting, we Razor Sharp, we take the damage shield. Okay, fine. This is not going to be a problem at this point. And it's going to be easy, actually. We just sack these guys. It's fine. I Sting downstairs. I will play another Train Steward just to sack it. Root Seeds, Plink downstairs. Fine. Our whole goal here is basically we're faster than these quick people now, and that's important. As long as we can clobber them, we're good. Downstairs, I will kill one man. Great work. Kill another guy down here. It's fine. Our goal here is now to do enough damage to win the combat. Great work. Play a Root Seeds here. It's fine. Not going to go in on Mind Collapse. It's not important here. We can deal with these guys in other ways. I think we have no real risk to ourselves on this one. Let's see. I do need to double Sting middle. This guarantees we go pop here. Alright, that's good. Let's work on... Doesn't really matter. Top floor here. I can face tank and save some damage shield, but I think we just take the Miner here and it's okay. We're going to go with Root Seeds on this one. I suppose I should Sting downstairs instead. It's technically better. This guy's going to waste a few of my stats, but it's fine. We go Miner in front with the Void Binding. Great. It's fantastic. It's pretty much exactly what I was hoping for. We'll Sting middle just so he's not there. Sting this guy's his what is it called? Damage shield out. Alright. We're looking for... We want to do enough damage to win this combat. And I think that is enough. Now, Root Seeds is probably the better choice. We could kill this marksman. Right? Because we're killing the front guy, so he goes pop pop. It doesn't really matter, actually. It might matter. It might matter, sure. Alright, fine. Whatever. We clear the floor. We have enough... See, the thing about this that makes this work is we have enough damage shield now that I'm not really worried about anything. Now, I do want to... We're going to play offensive Razor Sharp to clear out these back lines. And I am going to pop that damage shield. And now we get this kill, so I don't even have to really worry about anything here. We just Sting the boss. Sure, we're doing enough damage to clear that heavy. This should be straightforward now. We're going to go ahead and hit Minor, minor. We will play Void Binding. 7 damage shield, 7 stealth. We easy win this combat, right? There's no risk to us here now. Yeah. We chill. Great, we have it. There's only so much can be done, right? Only so much can be done here. You could have put that in front if you wanted to take another hit. We already had it, it didn't matter, so it's fine. We'll take it. This is an annoying combat where I have to make trade-offs. We at least got the trial. Mid-floor was not viable. We'll take Trader's Quell, that's cool. Engraft, Pyregrow, Invigorating Solution. Don't think so. Do I have enough stuff for plus 30s? I do have 3 temples coming up, right? Yeah. The only reason I might consider Engraft is just to have a slot that doesn't really affect things. Because I do have a Sting, which I could upgrade, and the Mind Collapse, which should get upgraded at some point. But that's about it. Maybe I can find better stuff. I don't think that's particularly valuable. Yeah, Forever Consumed. If I'm going to see a Tendon Piercing or something, this is better. Shroud Mitosis is not bad on your Making of a Morsel plays, but... Shroud Mitosis. I could go left and hit Nexus Spike. How do we feel about that? That would be funny. Wait. Is that for real? Do I chase Nexus Spike here? It isn't terrible? Huh. You know, it's not awful. Take that and just chase Nexus Spike? Is that... That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting... Huh. I wonder if that's correct. If we hit Nexus Spike on either of these 2 caverns, which are the ways we're going to these paths already, then you Nexus Spike your Windleton behind the Crucible Warden, or Collector guy, and you're pretty strong then, huh? Or maybe with upgrades you just go ahead and make more copies of the Collector. Okay. I think it's fair. I think it's fair to try that. We'll go left. We'll see what we run into. I'm taking everything. Spell Chain again. Purge again. Okay, well, those are all terrible. That's a bit of a bummer. We're going to go ahead and do Train Steward and a Train Steward here, just to get these guys out of here. This lets me remove one of them. Magic Shop. Permafrost. Before I commit to these, I should look at the cave, right? Yes, let's see what we roll. I'll trade Pyre Health, yeah. Shadow Box. Well, I mean, if I play Shroud Mitosis normally with Making of Immortals, I think we actually do proc Shadow Box, so I'm going to take it. It's not Nexus Spike, but that's okay. We get all our health back anyway, because we waited on that, so fine. Gosh, what... I could take the Furnace Tap, hold on to this. It's a pretty decent pickup, I think. Have it on the right turns. Sure, I do like that. Pretty good, right? Yes. -2 would be fun here, but it's fine. Make everything else free. We'll make root. I'm going to still hold on to Void Binding as a possible -2 target. Root Seeds can be free here. +10, I don't want to take that. I'm going to spin this. Remove Consume. Was never a good choice for Furnace Tap here. I'm going to go ahead and make... the last Root Seeds free, I think. Maybe Shroud Mitosis should be free? Sure, we'll do that, actually. I'm going to spend the 50 gold to cut the Fused Train Steward. I realize he's not that important, but it speeds me up on actually hitting the things I want. We'll take every Pact Shard we can get. The Purge here. I'm genuinely considering things like purging this Plink entirely. We're running out of other options. And I think it's fine. Sure, we'll do it. I already put 25 gold into it, but that's fine, I suppose. Shroud Mitosis, Spell Chain. It's a weird play, but not terrible necessarily. Think about this. If I put one miner down, what does that mean? That means I have 3 units on the floor. I make 3 copies. I go to 6. So spell chaining this doesn't really help. If you're going to spell chain anything, maybe you spell chain the Preserved Thorns, weirdly enough. It's not awful. It's true. I could also spell chain the Void Binding and hold out for that -2. It's basically double stack, right? Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, alright, I'll spell chain the Void Binding. It's fine. It's unlikely I invest and use that now, but we should crush Fel. Not worried about this. I don't need anything else from here on this magic shop. Okay. Is there ever a chance we get a pre-relentless here? I don't think so. If I'm being honest with you, I think we just play bottom floor and chill. That seems reasonable to me. So, I am going to draw a million cards here. It seems good. I'll take the damage shield just to pop it. Fine. Sure. Alright, we do get Making of a Morsel with... This is going to be weird, but hear me out, right? The weirdness about this is I can Void Binding the Miner, right? And then Shroud Mitosis this guy. Which is fun. It didn't I could have done it in a different order. It didn't really matter here. I am going to play out some damage in the back. I'm going to Sting just to say I did it. Interesting. Ton of morsels, which is fun. Our whole goal here is to ensure that we lock down these floors, right? That's entirely it. So I want to play all this stuff out. And the thing is enemies are spawning. We're going to be relying on, what is it called? Lifesteal to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. You could have put that miner in front, put the damage shield in it, and then Shroud Mitosis it, but I'm not so keen on that. I need to improve my damage on this floor. I think I'm going to Sting a different floor. We at least got through Fel's whole situation here. Suppose I could pop a damage shield, which I won't say no to. Fine. Maybe that speeds us up a little bit. Our little buddy is going to live. He's way ahead as far as survivability goes. His damage shield is enough to hold down the fort. So that's cool. I will draw cards here, may as well. I will play more damage out, you may as well, right? This is a great example of, I guess I should do more damage, sure. Fair, alright. We're clearing stuff. 12 lifesteal is enough for him to get through it. Just gonna Sting out here. Unfortunately, I do not get anything too fancy on this one. Can pop a what? I could pop the yeah, sure. Damage shield on one of these guys, fine. Making decent progress, alright. Miner, yeah, so we put one miner in front. This is gonna look weird, but we're gonna buff this guy because I can. And I'm going to clone it because I can, I think. Fun. It's just fun doing it, as it turns out. I don't need to do more damage. We have enough lifesteal that it's going to be okay, right? Cool. 15, I mean, we're fine, right? There was never any risk here because, and then you just airdrop in the furnace tap on the final turn and you're cruising, right? With 15 lifesteal, she never gets through, and we do enough damage here to win. So we get a bottom floor, which is fine. Umbra Stone, Kindle is maybe fun. Furnace Tap again. It's hard to play both of those. Umbra Stone, however, is a nice play. This causes some trample damage that might deal with damage shields or some other things. We'll take it. Is it just card draw again? It might be. Right? I don't know if I need the Ember for anything. We're going to another magic shop eventually anyway. I'm just going to take card draw. It'll get me through faster early on. Okay. We're going to the right, this trinket shop. See if we roll into anything completely outrageous. I'm going to be doing Mr. Train Steward infusions here. Get rid of those guys. Great work. Finally a plus 30 for my Mind Collapse. I will take that, yes. Another Purge is... I'll think about that in a second. We're going to... One of our cuts is that Train Steward we just got. Great. Fine. I don't know what the other one is. We'll take a multi-strike here. Predator 2. Seems good. Cool. I'm going to look at the trinket shop real quick. Teeth of Gold, Hammer Chestplates, Faulty Loader, nothing fancy. Let's see what's in the cave. Build a card, huh? Now what? Oh, there we go. If I had taken Gnarled Root, I could have taken the Spikes effect here. That's what I was missing. I am a fool. No, it's still, I don't think would have been great. It's already a bad roll here, right? Spikes. I mean, Spikes is good anyway. We'll take it. Spikes heal, Spikes buff. Spikes buff is not bad. The cool thing about Spikes is I can put it in the front, and then anything that attacks will eventually kill itself. Our goal being that we actually can kill some of those damage shield guys faster. Let's take Spikes buff, I think. That's a cool one. And I'm going to take money here, because money is score. And I think that's pretty solid. Sure, that's a decent card to add. The Purge here is on a Sting, I guess. Sure. We'll get rid of it, I guess. It's fine. Still no -2s, which is unreal to me. I don't even know what to suggest. I'm going to re-roll this trinket shop, look for something stronger. Improved Firebox is not bad, but I'm not drawing a lot of cards. I think it might just be Mask of Penumbra, which is frequently getting procced here, so I'll take that instead. The other removal, I mean, I need to draft another unit in order for Edge Prior to get his infusion. I could potentially do a dupe self-infuse, which sucks a little bit, but it's not that bad. And what else? What do you cut here? I could cut the Root Seed so I don't have to give it a -1. You know what? That's not a terrible idea. We'll do that. It's a small deck. This is one of the things you struggle with in Covenant 1s, is just like, what do you even get rid of at that point? But we'll move on. Aggressive Amulet. I'm not afraid of it. It is a lot of damage, by the way. This is a truckload of damage coming in. Maybe you should have been afraid of it. Maybe I should have been afraid of it. But the fact that he swings twice changes this in a big way. So I actually think we're okay. We're okay. Put some of this damage shield up front. We chill, right? The fact that he attacks twice is actually just enough, in my opinion. Now, how do I get this guy upstairs? I'm going to sting him. And then... what? Get him Edge Prior? Sure, that's... you know what? I couldn't think of worse things. I need to buff my floor. So we're absolutely dropping in a minor here, for sure. I get a sting, great. I do want to play Razor Sharp. I think it's really important. I also think the trample might be the right choice here. I think so. Yeah. Alright, we get the Collector thanks to Edge Prior, which is hilarious to me, actually. So that's fun. I do not get the Shroud Mitosis here, but that's okay. I'm going to... I want to play for dollars. I think that matters. I skipped one of those plays already because I thought the Trample Stone was really important. And if you look at how this math is trampling out, it actually seems like it's probably pretty important to have done so. So there's that. +2 health. Right, he's taking damage a little bit. I do want to Razor Sharp here. I'm going to pop... There we go. We pop one of these damage shields, which I do think will help. And we should be okay. Great work. Go team. The trample is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, as it turns out. It's good. The biggest concern is Spike's damage. Just straight up, it is Spike's damage. Now, I could potentially do better here. There's a few ways we can do it, right? I'm going to buff in front on this one. I'm going to pop this damage shield, actually, because I think it is the biggest help I could give myself. And we'll hang out. We have enough... Yeah, okay, we're not down and out. I could fix this potentially with... I have some options, right? I could Void Binding him, which is not a terrible idea, necessarily. It's true. I don't want to keep lowering his stats. I'm going to go ahead and buff in front, actually. Yeah, that actually does swing this around in a meaningful way. Sure. Okay, play old magic. Yes. Money, dollar bills. We want to sting a whole bunch. Sure, 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 sure. I will take these morsels. Absolutely. Great. I'm just going to buff in front. I don't think anything is ever at risk of killing him. And then we're going to what? Click. Yeah. Alright. Play for money. And chill. And I don't have to play anything else. True. Although I guess I can drop in some guys. Let's get them. Get them, miners. Alright, cool. Easy. Okay, so we made a lot of money. I do think the Trample Stone was right. I could be 20 points higher if I'd play one more of that, of the money play there, but I think it was better to get it off. Now, I am going to take Wildwood Custodian because I think that +1 card draw is at least a mildly useful infusion here. Shroud Spike is hard to say no to. I will find value for that. I think I will take the Void Binding here. I actually think it is the Void Binding, second one of these. Okay, we're going to the right. Yes. Give me a -2. Still no -2. Alright. Well, that's a big bummer. It's a huge bummer. We're going to go hard on Pact Shards here. It is going to be... Where is it? I don't have healing spells, so I think the play is I want to put the Restoration into Edge Prior here, or Edge Prior into Wildwood Custodian. Fair. Intrinsic on this one is tricky. What is your Edge Prior, or your what is your intrinsic play? It's a good question. Unclear. Sap Tap. Fossilized Fangs is a fun play. It's not bad. It's actually really good getting extra lifesteal, but I think with Shroud Mitosis we're not at risk of this anyway. I could remove Mr. Edge Prior. He's not terribly helpful, right? +1 card draw is acceptable. I think our -1s, unfortunately, are locked in. One of these has to go on the Void Binding. Man, I was really hoping for a -2 for this Void Binding. It's a real bummer it never showed up. I think the play is, as weird as it is, I have to remove the spell chain copy that I created because I'm never going to be able to play those spell chainers, right? Never. Not a chance. That's the problem. And then the other -1 goes into old magic. Now, the plan is basically everything is free, is the idea. So you slam Furnace Tap right away, and then we can play this one copy of Void Binding every time, and that gets you faster, right? It's faster. The Spellchain copies of the Razor Sharps are also going to be problematic. They're basically unplayable. That's true. They're basically unplayable. Maybe I cut them even? I don't know. It's a weird position to be in. I don't think I cut them. No, I don't think I cut them. I don't see how we get a high score here is my big problem, right? Like, what's your dupe on this guy? I want to dupe for at least 15 shards, but I don't think there's a good reason to do it. I think actually maybe we dupe the Mind Collapse here for 20. That's a reasonable card, right? We could potentially actually get Ember back from it. I actually think that's a great point. We could actually, I think, get Ember back from this, so... yeah, I like that a lot, in fact. The spell chain, it's a tough spell chain to line up and decide on. The intrinsic is also difficult. Like, what's your play here? My intrinsic is, I don't know. There's not a lot of great choices for it, right? It's tough because I want to get the trample out soon, but... and I'm playing one Ember every time. Always playing that one Ember here because of the Preserved Thorns. And it's a card that gets played once, so I don't care that it costs one. I'm not going to upgrade it like that. There's no permafrost play here, yeah? No, I don't think so. You could permafrost the Shroud Mitosis and hold on to it for a good turn, so you're never really messing around with this. That's honestly pretty decent. Is it worth 85 points? Don't think so. Double stack. I think this -1... I could keep this Void Binding, and we could potentially rely on the Mind Collapses to generate Ember to play it. I think I want the old magic more, though. I think I am cutting this Void Binding, actually. Unfortunately, I think that one gets cut. Now, I think the Edge Prior's not helping here, but he's not hurting either, in my opinion. That's true. Intrinsic. What's your intrinsic play? I could intrinsic the Voidbind, the Umbra Stone, and just have that on turn 1. It's not terrible. Honestly, that's pretty good. Just get that out of there. And then the spell chain here, it's tough because this spell chain is a potential risk of being able, can I play it? Spell chaining the Void Binding is fine. Right? I think we can potentially get away with this thanks to the second Mind Collapse, as long as we're drawing a lot of cards. I'm going to go for it because it speeds me up. We're at 315 Pact Shards. I get another removal. I actually think this is Wildwood Custodian. As weird as it is, maybe it's actually just Razor Sharp Edge here, right? I actually think it might be. Weird, but true. I think it is. Okay. And we save the rest of our money because nothing here is good. Is Sap Tap ever correct? I do... The lifesteal does mean this is essentially a free card draw. It's hard to say no to that. Right? The lifesteal does mean that I'm always drawing a card. Okay. I think that is very powerful. Is it worth 205 points? Powerful. Like, you have to understand, if this were coming in 25, slam dunk, always click it, no problem. I might even click Fossilized Fangs, because then we get ridiculous numbers of lifesteal. The problem is, here it's costing me points, so unless a decision is basically giving me a faster kill on one of these upcoming bosses, it's not worth it, right? That's it. These -1s and things, critical. I actually think they're very important so that I can actually play the Void Bindings, which do in turn, yes, mean that I get kills faster. Also, removing cards is valuable because you draw more old magic, which then gives you points because of the gold. So, valuable. Now, I could re-roll this. What could this show me? We'll look at the logbook real fast. What could this show me? Winged technology is not terrible. Shade Lamp, I don't think I would take it. Banon Umbra, not as important. I'm just trying to think, what could the reroll actually show me that would be a huge win, right? Lost luggage. I don't have a lot of Ember here. I've already skipped Firebox. I think we chill and we greed here. I think we chill and we greed and we move on. Right? Nothing in here is important. As +10 is not it. The double stack is not it. Alright, we'll walk. I think if we live and get kills, I think we will actually pull off a ridiculously solid kill setup here, right? I think we're actually square. As long as yeah, I think we're good. Trample is your friend. I'm going to sting twice middle. I'm going to sting once middle to get rid of that damage shield on the boss. And then I think I'm going to work on hitting the boss a bit here. Now remember, this is chased. Chased is cutting lifesteal and things. So a bit of a bummer here. So now... What? Oh, he's living. I was like, what's happening here? So the plan is to slam... I play this Wildwood Custodian for a few reasons. The main reason is I really want him to take us to steal some stuff. I'm going to play the Furnace Tap immediately, which is big swings. Okay, we're going to drop Void Binding here. Alright, we're going all in. And this may seem crazy, but basically I'm killing this guy in front, even though it hurts tramples, because it lets me play the Void Binding Razor Sharp Edge, and we just sack the Prismal Dust. We're trying to go fast. Okay, the goal here is big damage numbers. Goal here is big damage numbers, and I think we get them. We buff. He didn't spawn anyone up there. Cool. I'm going to pop one of these guys just so I can play the other copies here. And then I'm going to push numbers into the boss. Now, he's going to come down middle. I may, because of the way he moved here, I do somewhat regret... Yeah, I do somewhat regret playing him middle, because Wildwood Custodian is stealing. Right? Okay, we're going to redo this. We're going to redo that one. So, because of the way he moved, it's not beneficial to me to play Wildwood Custodian like that. I was hoping he would just go up, and then I could let Custodian die. But because of the way that played out, it didn't work out in my favor. So, that's okay. Alright, we are going to kill middle. I'm going to pop that damage shield. I'm going to push numbers here. I find more value personally from punching the boss. Okay. Now, for Wildwood Custodian, we're going to actually put him on the floor, I think. It's fine. Like, right, I don't care that much. I guess I could kill him or something. It's fine. We're going to pop here. Again, we're doing the same thing we were doing before. And our goal is now to kill one of these guys in the back so I can play the Void Binding, Razor Sharp, sack here, chill. Yeah, because of the way he's moving, it's a real annoyance to have it play out like any other way. So I am going to, for sure, Shroud Mitosis here. That's a good choice. Our stings are all going into the boss. We want to try to kill him. Our goal is buff. Right? Big damage numbers. Pop that guy so I can put the Razor Sharp in, and then we push all the rest of the numbers into the boss. Our goal here is basically to draw him back to this floor for trample, right? Yes. That is the plan. Alright, we get morsels. Great. Cool. Now, unfortunately, I did not hit a... what's it called? A Mind Collapse. So without Mind Collapse, I can't play these spell chain copies, which is a bit of a bummer. We are pushing 600 damage through. It is not impossible that we get the kill next turn. I should sting the boss every time I see this. That's a mistake. Play the Making of a Morsel for sure. Root Seeds for sure. We're going to pop this tiny guy in the back because it lets me play out the other copies here. And then we push the remaining damage into the boss. Not impossible. Not likely, because he's cutting our stats, but yeah. Oh, baby, we get a Mind Collapse. That's a good roll. Alright, cool. Now, it hurts the trample to do it, but I think it's correct to do it. Is an important piece of intelligence here, right? It hurts the trample. Look, I know. But we get Void Binding here. Doesn't look like we're getting the pre-relentless, but we do have a very secure win. Alright, well... Yep, that's just the nature of it, I guess. I suppose. Can't think of any... I'll be real, I don't see any line that mysteriously pulls off these damage numbers in a meaningful way. So, sure. Alright, we'll play out the spell chain copy real quick and then push these numbers. He came close, right? We came close to beating Chase that way, but yeah, we win this for sure. Yeah, it's easy. I actually think I finally, after long last, I get the power of bam! Look at that. Shadow Box. Play this card out because it's worth money. And then the rest of this doesn't really matter that much. I think we could potentially get... You know, I wonder if we could potentially actually get the Divinity early. Because he's going to be taking hits every turn, right? That's true. That's a pretty good play, right? Bottom floor chased. Blank pages? Yes. We take this just because it might do more damage to the Divinity at some point. It might. It might not, but it also might. 315 shards is pretty close to maximum, now that I'm thinking about it. We did take a dupe for value at pretty much every choice. I'm thinking this is a middle floor play, personally. Oh, I keep forgetting these floors are so weak. Wow. Maybe it's bottom floor. I was over here like, I don't know if we cleave it out, but I actually think it's super easy, right? That's crazy, yeah. I actually think it's very easy to do this. I'm gonna sting the boss, I suppose. Definitely Trample Stone here. The rest of this does not matter. I'm not playing the Void Binding because the first Ember Drain Slam is 100% the Furnace Tap, yes. It's always the Furnace Tap here. We are going to actually sacrifice the Custodian on this one because I can double play the morsels here comfortably. I'm going to buff them or spawn more copies. We immediately slam Furnace Tap. 100%. I'm going to hit that Prismal Dust. There's no reason not to. Spikes is going to be a concern for sure, but not an impossible one. I'm not going to hit this Void Binding in back. I think I'm going to put it in front, actually. If I'm being honest with you. I think I'm going to put it in front. Trample is such a weird thing to play around. It's interesting how that sometimes happens. The Spike's Floor, yeah, this Spike's Floor is the concern. So, fortunately, we hit double Mind Collapses, which I actually think is super important. So that's true. I'm going to actually play this Mind Collapse enough times that it will kill this man in back, because I actually think it's super important to do so. And I'm going to hit this Sting in front here, because again, I think that's super important. And this floor getting by means I can comfortably Razor Sharp here, I think. We'll pop the Mind Collapse here. We actually do clear the floor as a result of this, so that's pretty good. Sting, Sting, it's fine. We get the Minor out. I do wish to throw out Mitosis that, for sure. Sting, Sting, it's good, it's great, it's fun. I technically missed a Minor by playing it that way. I'm a fool. Now, I will play the Void Binding, even though I don't have the ability to actually pop. He didn't spawn with a dude, right? This is one of the rare instances where he did not spawn with a guy. I'm going to play this Minor somewhere else just so I still stack up Shadow Box. Fine. Meanwhile, now I get the Shroud Mitosis, but no morsels. Bummer. It's okay. I think we can still derive some value from this turn, potentially. Let's pop one of these guys in the back. See if we can actually... We actually do manage to pull Ember this turn, which is fantastic news. Great work. The trample numbers are always hard to plan around, and I'm not going to fight with them. It's like there's a moment where it's like, oh, suddenly it's less valuable for me to have played that card, or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. We're playing double Minors here for sure. I'm trying not to unnecessarily incant here, but I do wish to get some value. We're going to pop in the back. Ah, right. This loser had a spell shield and a damage shield. What a bummer. That's silly. Well, fair enough. Kill him there so he doesn't cause a problem. We'll draw this. We actually do get the Minor plus Mitosis play, which is cool. We'll continue buffing. We're doing a reasonable amount of damage here. Leave a spell chain copy in. It's fine. Sting there. I think I am just going to push damage numbers to the boss. I don't think we ever get through 5,600 hit points here, but I don't think we're losing either, right? Yikes. Okay, right. We take potentially damage here. Let's draw a card, see what we roll into. A second Mind Collapse is actually really important here. That's actually a surprisingly important draft, if I'm being honest with you, because I can go Mind Collapse, and now I can finally get the Mind Collapse. I don't want to take this 1% damage. Lost like, I don't know, 40 damage there somehow. I don't know what to say about it, math, but fine. It's just because of the way Trample is going, right? Okay. I do think we will hit... Wait for it. It's Shroud Mitosis time, which is interesting. I think we want to Sting up top. It's actually probably... I think we do more damage if I Sting here, then Shroud Mitosis. Really bizarre, but I think that works out in our favor. Okay, we're winning this combat for sure. Vengeful Shard. Am I seriously losing 2% score because there are no enemies on this floor? I could have played mid-floor and avoided this. Alright, alright. That's stupid. That's stupid. But you know what? Sure. 2% score? Yeah, you get to watch me play the Divinity a second time. You play mid-floor for that, and it means they raise up and it'll actually work out in our favor. Ridiculous. I am going to pop the damage shield upstairs. Most of this does not matter. I'll just hit Sting or Mind Collapse the boss where I can. Fine. Alright, now we're cooking. Sacrifice Mr. Edgeprior buddy upstairs. These guys never swing, so it doesn't matter. Play some minor stuff here. Definitely hit that Shroud Mitosis. We buff. I full drop Windleton stats here, 100%. We buff here. I will continue to trample through to the best of my ability. I get the razor sharp edge from it. I'm going to sting here. It's actually, I definitely do more damage by trampling through here, so don't hit that Prismal Dust quite yet. Fine. The math checks out. Alright, it's annoying having to do this, but I need to leave a unit on the floor, specifically so that it can be... so that it can Mind Collapse in Relentless, which is wild and yet accurate? Accurate, I think. Now, because this thing in the back has... Right, because it has this, I think I need to ping like this, so I can play the Void Binding, the Razor Sharp, and then we let this one sit, and we're going to Sting, Sting, Sting. I will take the Root Seeds. I'll play out the Prismal Dust here, and I'm going to work on some of this. The Spell Shield's gone on that Redirector. I think we should have an opportunity now to pop it. Yeah, we do have the ability to pop it here, which is good. Okay, fine. Great work. Go team. Take some stats. Sure, sure, sure. This is time for Shroud Mitosis. Great work. We buff. I will play the Razor Sharp. I will pop this thing in the back just to... Actually, it takes 1 damage by doing it this way. And this preserves the... Yeah, no, fair enough. I think actually it is still correct to do this, though. Because I get the other Razor Sharp out, which does push more damage overall. And then... Yeah, I think so. Let's push numbers into the boss to the best of our ability. We'll play out the Mind Collapse that way. Sure. Okay. Alright. Fine. Seems okay. We draw this. Great. Shroud Mitosis. Neat. Guy in front doing great work. There's no chance I get to play out. Yeah, there's really no way I get the Mind Collapse value here. But I can at least set up possibly for a Mind Collapse play next turn. That's crazy. This is good because it pushes 10s through, kind of oddly. Yeah, strange. I'm going to work on setting up for next turn, though. Yeah, that's the plan. Trample goes through. Sure. Alright, fine. First order of business. Play that morsel. Okay, play the other morsel. Great. This suddenly becomes... I can Mind Collapse here for some huge value. Which is interesting. Very interesting. I like how the Sting reduced the damage dealt by 140 something. Somehow that worked out in my favor. You know, Trample is funny. I think the play actually is I want to generate the Ember more than anything else here. So that lets me play Void Binding, then we Blast. Alright, now we're just going to sting the boss a bunch and move from here, and that's pretty cool. Okay, here's this goon. I don't like this guy, right? He's bad. So I think we just sting the boss because it keeps messing with Trample. We're going to take the Void Binding here. I do think I want to pop this guy in the back for sure, so I can hit that Void Binding again, and the Razor Sharp again. And I'll play that Razor Sharp, sure. Okay. A pretty decent play, I think. We buff here. Wow, we actually get a 2-turn Relentless because I played middle, which is... I'm gonna be real, not what I expected. So I'm just gonna not mess with this because we've somehow managed to trample in an efficient way. And alright, you know what? This is way more score just because I played middle, and I don't think there's any rhyme or reason for it other than pure luck. So, great. I'm just gonna hit end turn and win, I guess. And I don't take the 2% damage. Look at that. Wow. 20% more score for doing nothing. Blank Pages also did nothing, for anyone keeping track. It's too bad I couldn't sell it for 25 gold, or I would have. So, that's fun. Well, this is a pretty decent score. We did at least pre-Relentless Divinity in the end, which is kind of a silly thing, but true. We're probably in the top 10, right? It's nothing fancy. Yeah, 73. Sure, back to challenge. It's not an 80k. Yeah, we're number 9. Sure. What trickery did you find that got this faster? Okay, you played Steelsinger. You know what? Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I saw the Steelsinger. We could have hard pivoted. I suppose that's true. I didn't think this would get there. Did everyone in the 80Ks do Steelsinger? We had a Steelsinger. I don't know how that pulled it off. This one came, well, this came from the Furnace Tap largely, right? Yeah, okay. So you're dropping that Furnace Tap into Steelsinger and he's just punching. 320 shards. This person actually managed to pull off, I think, more than me even. Yeah, I was 315. Wild. Okay. I guess Steelsinger was the play. I didn't think this would get that strong. But also, look at this. They rolled... Look how ridiculous these rolls are. Double multi-strike plus... Wow. Double multi-strike Sunderstone. I never saw this Sunderstone, so that's interesting. And I went to a lot of caves too. That's crazy. You saw I was farming trying to find the Nexus Spike. I never saw the Thunderstone. That's crazy. So they did this, and I guess like where you're buffing this through, I guess, yeah, the old Magicka did have a restore on it. There wasn't engraft, I do remember. They took Restoration Detonation. That certainly helped. Having the Restoration Detonation, which I didn't even draft because it didn't make sense at the time. You don't know you have a Steelsinger at that point, so either this person got lucky in drafting the Restoration Detonation or knew what was coming up, but either way, right? Like, I don't think you ever take that Wildwood Sap over the Razor Sharp Edge. It just... This is maybe like a you know what's coming, and so you can make a good choice. This just seems a little spiced out, right? A little too intelligently played. It's not even the highest score, though, right? Or it is, it is. I feel like this person knew what was happening, right? How do you... What world do you go, ah, yes, and I will, with Windleton, draft the Wildwood Sap here over the Razor Sharp Edge? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. And then also, like, the restoration detonation. I know where you see that Steelsinger is after some of these decisions have been made. So I don't know about that. That feels maybe a little too knowledge friendly, but still, it's all fine, right? I'm not mad about it. It's okay. Once you have the Steelsinger, you can make some pretty decent drafts. But at that point, you're basically, yeah, it's like literally only Unleash the Wildwood plus Engraft, basically, is what you're shown. And then eventually you get that old magic, which is cool. So that's neat. But this is like ring 7 or whatever. So it's so late that it's not affecting your scaling really. And then I guess he's what, caving in everything on top of itself? I guess. I suppose so. I'll be honest, I think this Awoken Hollow Infusion actually is bad because it prevents you from playing two of these guys on the same floor, right? I think you could just knowing that this line exists, I think the better play is what? That's like 7 space. This guy is 4 space normally. You just take 1 space, you go to what is that? 8 on a floor? 2, 5, 3, yeah, 8 on a floor. You get 2 of them straight up on the floor normally. The way you actually do this, in my opinion, is you really want to hold on to that infusion because you get an edge prior infusion later, which is way stronger. You get floor-wide scaling from it. Yeah, I mean, this person literally has the edge prior, right? So, like, the real play here is everything can be free, no problem. It's not a question. You don't need to put edge prior on the floor. Instead, you should put the edge prior infusion into the Steelsingers and then go crazy from there. Now, granted, you have to hold out, and then maybe you end up with fewer shards for it. I'm not sure, but there's a way of making it work, I think. Oh, look, they even had an intrinsic space prism, so they didn't need the space draft. Wow. Wow, wow, they took a space prism on a mansion run. They had to know what was coming. Who in the world is taking... They have mansion, they're like, you know what I'm going to do on ring 1? I'm going to take space prism. Now that person knew. That's funny, but they knew for sure. It's funny as hell. That's good. This one seems a little more like natural, right? This one looks like they could have actually figured it out on their own. Been like, oh, maybe this works, and oh, look at this. Because the nice thing is like you're getting the drafts make a little more sense. Now, not all of them do, right? You're still this person has successfully gambled into Restoration Detonation and Wildwood Sap. Fantastic work. I mean, crazy. I would never have guessed at that point, but yeah. Interesting. The Steelsinger plays get you the number 2 and 1 slot. How are these other ones looking? They all Steelsingers? Am I the only one who didn't think Steelsinger was the play? This person has a Steelsinger, but they didn't really do anything with it. I am literally the only fool who does not play Steelsinger. You know what? I'm actually pleased then. I don't, maybe I'm crazy. You just blindly take Steelsinger, go high roll 2 multi-strikes, and then find the Sunderstone. I am the fool, apparently. You know what? I'm happy with it. I managed to do something really cool and get top 10 at least here. Great news. I'll take my number 9 score, thank you very much. And I'm going to leave with it. Goodbye. Anyway, that's all I've got. It's fine. It's an interesting line. I think this feels it's very secure is the thing. But I also think that this is about as fast as I imagined it working. I did not envision the world where that Steelsinger's line is fast enough. Straight up. And I think a big part of it is finding that Sunderstone and rolling into that many multi-strikes. There's a world where the steel shops are just a little bit worse, and you don't have Sunderstone in the literal run. Like, literal Sunderstone swings this in a huge way. But I think in a world where you don't have that, those Steelsinger lines are abysmal, right? They're terrible. The gamble you have to make to be like, Steelsinger is the play is significant. It is so significant that it feels difficult to correctly make that, right? Because that line could very easily lose at 200 shards on Covenant 1 if you miss some parts of those things. But as soon as you start talking about, all right, well, I hit double multi-strike and I've got the Sunderstone, like, okay, it's hard to lose from this position, right? Your units are nuts, so fine. Anyway, I'm gonna let that go. I think it's fine. It's interesting. I think it's very gambly. It's a huge gamble, just a massive gamble. But all right, I didn't make the gamble, and I still got number 9. You know what? I'm the only person in the top 10 who didn't do the Steelsinger nonsense, and apparently I am the fool. So I guess the reality is maybe if the run was slightly different, all those people would instead have lost, and it would be another different set of 9 people up here doing something similar to me, so fair enough. Regardless, I'll let you go there. So hey, thanks a lot for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you like. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this, and stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.